Hi everyone, welcome to KC with SK. I'm Sincominkosi Khumalo. Guys, you should see my smile right now. I love what I do. So first of all, it's so precious how the second episode that I ever recorded for Kingdom Culture, it's called Kingdom Culture Demystified. I spoke of how I am going to introduce the episode from that episode going forward as Welcome to KC with SK. And so KC with SK became such a big thing for me, and slowly but surely the people around me slowly bought into it, right? And now I met a celebrity yesterday and he was like, you can host KC here. He was showing me a venue. He's like, you can host KC here. I'm like, what? So even like the people that I don't expect to know about this actually know that Kingdom Culture is like my KC. That's such a big case to me. KC with SK. The ministry is growing, the work is growing, baby steps. And also special shout out to everybody who subscribes, like even when there's no content that I'm putting out, because I'm so intentional about what I put out. And fine, there's an element of overthinking sometimes, but I'm very strategic with how I put out work for God and what I actually put out, because it's not really about like putting out content so that the algorithm eventually favors my work. Yes, fair and fine. That's the goal as a creative, to make sure that you're consistent in your posting. Yeah. Sharp. But is my posting valuable? Are the people that are gonna read it find the things that I'm posting valuable? I want to create value more than anything. And even if it's valuable to one or two people, that's great. But my hope is that the work that I do is valuable to so many more people across the globe, because I already consider Kingdom Culture as international. So I really appreciate it when I see subscriptions, even if when I'm not putting work out. Like now we're at 346. Special shout out to everybody who just comes through and checks out my work. If you're listening to this and you're recently subscribed, I appreciate it. If you're listening to this and it's on Spotify or another podcast platform, my podcast is also available on YouTube at Kingdom Culture with Sincominkosi. So just search for Kingdom Culture with, and it's gonna just show my name on one of the suggestions. So yeah, I hope you guys have been doing great. I'm wonderful. I'm happy for the new month. Happy new month. Welcome to November. I'm excited. This is the 11th month. That means that we are, like, I'm very intentional about numbers as well. So God is a God of the 11th hour sometimes. And there are things that we may expect that might not have happened. But I pray for you guys that you get to experience that miracle of the 11th hour in the 11th month. That if there is something that you've been praying about, may God remember you even in the 11th hour. May God move in the 11th hour. And also the 11th hour signifies that, the 11th month rather signifies that the year is almost coming to an end. On TV, we're starting to see commercials that display that it's Christmas time, festive season time. And it's my favorite time of the year, to be honest. I love Christmas decorations. I love those decorations. Like, I love them. I love the music. I love the bells. Yes. And I guess it aligns with what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about embracing childlike wisdom. There's a fine line between being childlike and being childish. And I'm taken back to a verse in the Bible. I can't really pinpoint where it is, but somewhere in the Gospels, where it says Jesus was talking to his disciples, and he's speaking to us too. He's like, whoever cannot receive the kingdom of God like a child cannot inherit it. It's not in verbatim, but it goes something like that. Yes. So, and also it reminds me of the time when the disciples wanted to rebuke the children, and Jesus said, let the little children come to me. That was a big moment when, I'm not sure if you guys have experienced this, but in family gatherings, children are not really allowed in spaces where adults are speaking. It's a taboo when you're a child and you're sitting there and adults are speaking. They'll be like, that's always a conversation around those discussions with adults. So children know when to walk out, or they know that it's supposed to, at least from my own era, we knew that when adults are gathered, you get out as fast as you can, and you come through when you're greeting them, and you vamoose when they start talking. And so that, I guess that was the situation with the disciples, to say like, what are these kids doing here around the master? Like, what are they going to understand? And Jesus says, actually, these are the ones that I want. That's my target audience. Let the little children come to me. And for me, I think about that a lot, to say, why is a child so important to Jesus? Why is a child so important to God? To the extent of saying that we should receive his kingdom like children. Shout out to Tijuni. We had a call today. I recorded this episode just like on the day when we had the call. So congratulations, by the way, on your nomination. Shout out to all of you guys who were nominated for the Bulawayo Arts Awards. It's always great to see people's work being endorsed and valued and appreciated on such platforms. And to those who were not nominated, I just want to say, this does not undermine the work that you do. This does not belittle the work that you do, and this does not change how much of a genius you are. So if you did submit and you did not get recognized, don't let it make you feel like you are less of the artist that you are, the person that you are, the creative that you are, the business person that you are. But it's mostly about arts. So don't let it make you feel like less of an artist that you are, because nominations don't really determine who's better than who. It's just a matter of timing, and it's their time now. It's their time to shine. Your time will come too. And yeah, so I hope that if you did submit, you didn't get nominated or make it in the shortlist, please don't be discouraged. Your time is coming too. And yeah, so shout out to those who got nominated. Shout out to those who did try and submitted their names to onto the awards list. Thank you for trying. And next year is another year. And also keep pushing, keep putting out your work. I pray that you get the endorsement that you want, and accolades will come. I'm not sure when, but they will come. Even if they don't, I pray that you find fulfillment in the work you do in the meantime while you wait. So yeah, shout out to Tijuni. Sorry, I digressed a little bit. I just had to give out a shout out to all the people that I saw, like the ones that I know. I'm so excited for them. Shout out to Luchi, Shiki, my very good friend, Luzibo. I'm happy for you. Shout out to Mbongeni Ignatius. Shout out to Leslie, the General Leslie. Hey, I'm sorry. Shout out to Leslie under the category of Best Comedian. Shout out to Sean, aka Mnigas Wempup. Yeah, for Best Content Creator. Shout out to Sipo Mesent Nyati. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to I'm trying to think. Shout out to Frank Chirisa. Shout out to MJ Sings. I can't really remember all the names on the list, but yeah, just shout out to you guys. I don't know if they are gonna hear this, but guys, if you've got a friend whom I mentioned on this list, please share the episode with them. Tell them to listen to the how many minutes part. Yeah, special shout out to Sincominkosi, the designer. It was exciting. Like, I saw her name, I was like, what am I doing on the fashion list? Then I quickly noticed, like, it's not Sincominkosi, it's Sincominkosi, and I automatically realized that no, it's Ngoma, the designer. It's really exciting to see my name, Nami Utin, on the list as well. She's very brilliant in her work. I actually saw her work from my friend during a Lobola squad situation when my friend was getting locholwat, and so she designed the bride's dress, and my fellow Lobola squatter. She's brilliant. Her work is beautiful, and I acknowledge it. Yeah, so shout out to her. I don't know if she'll ever hear this, but yeah, whenever she does, it's great. So yeah, shout out to all the people. Some names I don't know of, but yeah. And like I said, shout out to those who also were not nominated but did apply. And shout out to those who did not apply but are still gifted. Shout out to you guys. You are creative, you're wonderful. Thank you for putting your work out there. The fact that you put your work out there is everything that we need to see. Because what's important is to just take that step and begin. Just start. Do it afraid. I'm an advocate for doing it afraid. So yeah, Tijuni and I were had a call, an interesting call, and we were just conversing about different stuff. It turned out to be a powerful call. We even said, why we're not recording this? It was funny and interesting too. But he also highlighted this part about being childlike, and I'll make reference to him as I progress. So yeah, being childlike and being childish. Back to my episode. It's important to be childlike and not childish. There's a fine line between the two, and I guess it's important for us to understand the difference. As children, we're taught to be cautious about who we listen to. Like, that's the first thing that I'll talk about, to guard our heart. We are taught to, like, check the road before you cross, look both sides before you cross the road, don't talk to strangers. Like, there's different voices that you're not supposed to listen to. You're not really supposed to listen to everyone as a child. Like, that's why there's so many instructions that are given. Like, there's voices that you can listen to, and I think that's why babies can recognize their parents' voices and they cry when there's strangers' voices, because it speaks a lot about trust, right? So children listen to those that they trust, and that trust element should be rooted in goodness, because you can easily trust someone who will hurt you. Imagine situations of children who have trusted the wrong people and they ended up being abused by those people that they trusted. That's how we have broken adults who were abused when they were young because they trusted the wrong people, and it's not their fault. The blame, I don't want to say the blame, but I just want to speak about the element of goodness to say children are so innocent that the person that they choose to trust is supposed to securely deliver their trustworthiness and protect that child's innocence and protect that child's trust in them. So it's a pity that this world is so twisted to the point that there are people who have misused the trust that children have, that innocence, that love that children have for those that they trust, and they abused the children, whether verbally, physically, and even to the point of molesting them. That hurts. That is something that I can't even imagine on anyone's child. But there are people who have been abused like that, and it's painful. It's painful. And some never even speak about it. They grow up to be broken adults, and it's a painful reality. So this is why it's so important for children to be protected, because whoever they love, they will trust. And in their purest form, children are beautiful, man. So I'm reminded of our spirits. Our spirits are like children, I guess, as born again Christians, believers. When you become born again, you are converted to your childlike nature. I could be wrong, but that's how I see my spirit. And so there are different people who will try to pollute my spirit and your spirit. And it's important then to guard your heart. Hence Proverbs 4 verse 23, which says, guard your heart, because from it flows the springs of life. So treat your spirit like a child. Not everyone is supposed to speak into your life. Not everyone should have access to your spirit, to your heart. People will speak and say the most negative things. Protect your spirit. Protect your spirit. Our spirits are like children, vulnerable to the opinions and words of others. We must be intentional about who speaks into our lives and why. Not everyone deserves a platform in our minds. For real. Protect your heart. Protect your spirit. Remember, you have the authority to influence your thoughts, and secondly, you have the authority to choose who influences your thoughts and emotions. So yeah, as a creative, I've come to learn that there are some people who just come and say the most mean things, have different opinions about the work I do, and at the end of the day, when they leave, they go on with their lives, but their words have really messed me up. Now I'm overthinking, I'll be stressed, I'll be crying in my bed. And that person is busy having the time of their lives, wherever they would be. And I'm left with this mess that they've created. But then again, this mess that they've created, I have the choice to actually choose for that mess not to even enter my space. It's a very hard thing to do. It's a daily work. I think that's why the Bible also speaks about renewal of mind every day. Renewal of the mind. Renew your mind, because it's a warfare. It's a battlefield against the mind. Like Joyce Meyer says, it's a battlefield, and we constantly have to guard our hearts and minds. Wear the helmet of righteousness so that it protects you from all the arrows that may try to enter it and pollute your thoughts. So yeah, protect your spirit. Remember, you have the authority to choose who influences your thoughts and emotions. And then the second point that I want to talk about is the power of a calm spirit. I'm reminded of Karate Kid, the one with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith. There's a part where Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan were going up the Wall of China, the Great Wall of China. And when they got to the top where there was a yin and yang, well, for lack of a better statement, but there was a yin and yang, a little pond, a fountain of water, it had still waters. So before they got to that place, Jaden, who was Dre, Jaden was called Dre in the movie. So Dre looked out the window and he saw this other lady who was standing on her one foot, and she was making some movements with a cobra in front of her, and she was trying to hypnotize the cobra, looking her straight in the eye. And as she moved, the cobra imitated the moves. She moved to the left, the cobra imitated that. She was so calm, she was so composed, and the cobra was calm and composed too. And it was such a calm and peaceful environment, and it was beautiful to see, but also scary. Like, y'all, I love Trevor Noah. If y'all listen to Son of Patricia, Trevor spoke of this man who was trying to tame the king cobra, and he was trying to show that he was mysterious. And yeah, the snake ended up biting his face. And this Frenchman that Trevor speaks about and his son, Jean-Pierre, when they were laughing at Trevor, was like, Trevor's scared of snakes. They're like, snake. And at the end of the day, the snake got loose. And Trevor was now laughing at them like, snake. So yeah, it was scary. The snake, y'all. Oh, it was scary, but it was beautiful to see in the movie. So the conversation, the dialogue between Dr. Dre Parker and Mr. Han, who was Jackie Chan, goes something like this. So Mr. Han says, the woman was like still water, quiet, calm. And then he pointed to the water and onto Dre's chest and Dre's head. Yeah. And then, so he was saying the woman was calm in here, showing that the woman was able to calm the snake because she was calm in her head and calm in her spirit. And then he went on to say, so the snake reflects her action like still water. And at that moment, Jaden was looking at that yin and yang water pond, right? And he could see his face. And Mr. Han asked, what do you see? And something like Jaden said something like my face. And then Mr. Han created a ripple with his fingers, and Jaden couldn't see his face. And Mr. Han was like, what do you see? And Dre said nothing. And so the lesson was, when the water is calm, you're able to see your reflection, but when it's chaotic, you can't. So Mr. Han was like, he was using the analogy of disturbing a pool of water to just illustrate how being agitated, like not being calm, makes one to be unable to see clearly and unable to see the opponent. So being agitated, having a loose spirit like that's quickly agitated, makes you lose sight of things, makes you lose perspective. And so a calm and gentle spirit helps you to see clearer. You can reflect better. So yeah, I love that scene in the movie, and I feel like it's a very deep moment. And there was a moment where Dre was like, but it's something like she's doing nothing. And Mr. Han said, there's a difference between being still and doing nothing. And that for me was the catch. Like, I'll leave that there for you to think about. There's a difference between being still and doing nothing. There's a difference. And I'll use that later on towards the end. So yeah, I was reminded of that scene from The Karate Kid where Jackie Chan shares that wisdom of a calm spirit. And just like the lady hypnotizing the snake, our calm and peaceful state can have a profound impact on those around us, you know? When our spirits are calm, we can see clearly, just like still waters reflecting our image. Yeah. In a world that's filled with chaos, opinions, let's strive to maintain peace and tranquility. I love the word tranquility. This doesn't mean we're not passionate or driven, but rather we're not controlled by emotions. A calm spirit is really like, I can say, a powerful tool in navigating life's challenges. So yeah, calm spirit, calm spirit, calm spirit, a gentle and quiet spirit. There's a verse like that in 1 Peter 3, I think verse 4, where it says God is not really drawn to them. A woman's beauty is not about braiding your hair and jewelry, but it's about a gentle and quiet spirit which is precious in God's eyes. That's the verse. And so this verse to me applies to men and women alike. Gentle and quiet spirit, that's precious in God's eyes. Yeah. And then my third point is in taking up accountability and responsibility. October really came with so many challenges and trials. Personally, there was a lot of testing. Yeah, there was a lot of testing, and I learned to take accountability and responsibility, because it's inevitable. There's gonna be chaos in life. There's gonna be a lot that happens. John 16 verse 33 says, "In this world we'll have tribulations, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world." And so Jesus doesn't say there might be tribulation. He says there will be tribulations. So it's inevitable. These things will always be there. Trials and tribulations will always come. But be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. That's what he says. So bad things will always happen. And there's a question of bad things happening to good people and and, right? But there's also the role that we play. When we feel like something bad has been done to us, when we feel like we've been wronged, there's also the part of taking accountability and taking responsibility. So I'm at a point in my life now where I ask myself, what part did I play for this to happen to me? Sometimes there's nothing that I might have done for this to have happened, but I try to reflect so that I don't take the victim position and lose sight of things, Instead of being a victim, I want to be a victor, So, yeah. I try to take accountability and also take responsibility in the process too. To say, okay, if I can't find anywhere where I'm supposed to be accountable, then I take responsibility for my reactions, because I'm not responsible for how people will treat me or we are not responsible for how people will treat us, but we're definitely responsible for how we react. And so that's where our responsibility lies. So we shouldn't try to change how people treat us, but rather we change our approach to how they treat us and our attitude going forward and how we react, basically. And it's a battle. Some people will try to bring out the gangster in you. Like, some people will make you feel like you have to go around carrying your ok up, like, everywhere you go. Some people want to bring out the fight in you, and yet you want to be calm, to have that calm and gentle spirit, but sure. So it's a battle every single day to try and take responsibility for our actions and try not to react in a negative way. But also, I just want to advise whoever's listening to say, you have emotions. They are there for a reason. Don't let anyone ever make you feel bad for feeling the way you do. There's anger, there's sadness, there's grief, there's anxiety. All these are emotions that are there. They exist within our spirits, within our souls. And yeah, they exist for a purpose. So what's important is to master those emotions, mastering how you handle them and how you Like, feel it. Don't be in denial of how you feel, but take ownership. The soul is like a good and obedient servant, but can also be a cruel master. So it's your choice then to decide whether the soul will dominate or rule you, or you will become the master of your soul. So feel how you feel, experience it. Someone said emotions are like a wave. So be the surfer, ride the wave, surf and feel it, but don't let it control you, and don't let it own you, and don't let it dominate you. It's a tough battle, and it's a daily battle, and that's between you and God. Pray to Him to help you to navigate that. So yeah, feel those emotions, feel them to their depth. Don't be in denial of how you feel, and I think that's how you quickly get over stuff. And yeah, don't let anyone make you feel bad for how you feel. But the key is also not to burst out to others. Say you're angry, now you take out your anger on others. That's why the word says, be angry, but do not sin. So yes, it's permissible. Feel it, but don't act upon it, type of thing. So yeah, and then in taking up accountability and all that, and responding to being hurt, I'm thinking of children. They don't hold grudges. They forgive and move on. Like, they could be angry at you right now, but in the next 3 hours, they'll be so excited and so happy to play with you, As adults, we can learn from this. Taking accountability and responsibility for our actions is very crucial at this point, because people will definitely hurt us. Our friends, our relatives, even those that we love at an intimate level, they will definitely hurt us, but they also help us to see the parts of ourselves that need healing, and they help us grow. Yeah. When we're wrong, let's humble ourselves and apologize. When we are hurt, let's choose to forgive and let go. This doesn't mean the hurt didn't happen, but it means we're choosing to release the burden. By doing so, we're actually creating space for love and growth. Yeah. And there's a quote by Mother Teresa that says, I've learned that if I love until it hurts, I do not have hurt, but I have more love. Yeah. And then the fourth point that I want to talk about is preparing for the life that you want, right? Life doesn't always come packaged the way that we want it to be. It doesn't go the way that we want it to go. But we have the power to prepare for the life we desire. Sometimes life won't come on a silver platter. Like, here's the Range Rover, here's the Jeep Wrangler, here's the Ford Mustang, here's the Maserati or whatever. No, like, it won't always come on a silver platter. Sometimes, yes, it will, like, voila, type of thing, when God says, it's in my blessings. But most of the time, it won't come like that. We have the power to prepare for the life we desire. While we're waiting for opportunities, let's prepare ourselves for them. Our attitude is consistent even when our feelings aren't, Let's make sure our actions align with our dreams. There's something that I wrote. Just want to see what I said. I've forgotten. Forgive me for that. I'm learning to write my thoughts so that I don't forget, because sometimes I just get this inspiration and then I forget to write it down. But yeah, it was about our feelings are not consistent. Like, I was talking about how feelings come and go, but our attitude is very constant. Like, your attitude is constant. Your bad attitude can be a constant or a good attitude, but feelings change. So your attitude can determine how you deal with your feelings. So yeah, let's make sure our actions align with our dreams. As the saying goes, bloom where you're planted. Yeah. Prepare your heart and mind and spirit for the life you want. And remember, it's not about being perfect, but it's actually about being prepared. So while you wait for that job that you want, while you wait for that husband that you want, while you wait for that wife that you want, or while you prepare to be that husband or prepare to be that wife, what are you doing in the process? Like, are you actually getting rid of your bad habits? because the bad habits don't disappear in the altar like magic. No, you prepare for it. While you prepare for that scholarship, are you actually studying for that? Are you reading? Are you aligning yourself with the right things? Do you have the right people around you? Protect your aura. Yeah, be prepared. In conclusion, guys, I just want to say, as we step into November, let's carry forward the lessons from October. So, like I said, while you wait for the life that you want, prepare for it. Just because you don't have anything to do doesn't mean you have to do nothing. Be still, but take action. Because there's a difference between being still and doing nothing. So be still and know that He's God, but take action in preparing yourself. If you know what I mean, if you understand. If you don't, please hit me up in the comment section and we'll talk about it. Yeah, let's be childlike in our innocence and humility, and be wise in our discernment. Let us guard our hearts and maintain a calm spirit, take responsibility, and prepare for the life that we want. Remember that you are the architect of your life and your destiny. Build it with purpose and intention. So I just want to leave you guys here. And yeah, I love you so much, but God loves you more. Take care of yourself. Remember to finish the year strong. May God bless and keep you and make His face to shine upon you and give you a wonderful November and a wonderful December. Peace to you and your loved ones. I'm Sincominkosi and can't wait for the next episode. Yeah, stay tuned. God bless you. Bye for today. Bye for today. Bye for today. Hey.